Hey friends! Okay, it is one of those picture perfect Pacific Northwest evenings. It's 6:01 and I am starting dinner real time tonight. So I am making a dish that was inspired by something I ordered when we were in Nashville, getting our son moved into his first apartment, and I had this delicious summer Panzanella salad, and it kind of focused a little different, having some lightly sauteed zucchini squash in it. It was so good. So if you haven't had Panzanella salad, it's essentially little croutons. So I already made up my own croutons. You could do store-bought, but I highly recommend you do fresh bread. It just won't be the same. The ones in the store, like in the boxes or in the bags, are just a little bit too crispy and they're just too processed. A fresh, chewy bread, like a ciabatta or a sourdough loaf, is really good. You just cube up some bread, toss it lightly with olive oil and butter, salt, pepper. I put it at 375 for 6 minutes, shook my pan, kind of flipped things over a little bit, and then went 5 minutes more, and they're perfect. A little bit chewy, but still crispy on the outside. So that's that. All the instructions will be below the video. But anyways, it has tomato, a little bit of thin sliced red onion, what else do I got here? Fresh basil, and I'm gonna add a little bit of parm, and it's just tossed lightly with a red wine vinaigrette. We had flank steak last night, so I've got leftover flank steak. So this is kind of like taking leftovers, but I'm adding a fresh element with this yummy summer Panzanella salad. So super pumped to show you this one. And if you're gluten-free, you guys, it's as simple as just making your gluten-free Panzanella cubes, toasting those up with your favorite GF bread, and you're good to go. So can't wait to get started. See you in a bit. Okay, I've got a nonstick skillet over medium heat. I'm just gonna drizzle in a tablespoon or so of olive oil. And I didn't actually make this dish. Obviously I had it at a restaurant. So I'm just kind of making up what goes in the dish. To me, when I kind of dissected this salad, it looked like the zucchini squash was lightly sauteed. It was not cooked soft. It was just lightly done. And I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh corn. I just cut this off the cob. It has not been cooked. I'm gonna get the zucchini going first though. And salt and pepper. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of fresh cracked pepper and salt. This is where you get to play with your spices. If you love herbs and spices, throw some in. I just want to keep it simple with a little salt and pepper, but get it tossed and coated with that oil. This is gonna go for just a couple minutes. And I'm just looking to lightly begin to cook the squashes. And I did one small, actually it wasn't small, it was a medium zucchini, and then the yellow squash was a little tiny baby guy just for some added color. But I did these in cubes, probably 1/2 inch cubes, if you can see that. They're not super big, but trying to kind of keep things consistent with the bites of the tomatoes. I've got the tomatoes, and then I've got my bread already toasted. So you're thinking about what will make a good bite together. If these were super diced, it'd be harder to get onto your fork. So trying to keep things consistent. So these are gonna go for just a couple minutes, and then honestly, we'll be ready to assemble. Hi, it's that simple. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, not long. I just added the corn kernels. I'm just giving them a light toss. So if you will zoom in here, Mr. Awesome Camera Guy, I want you to look at the zucchini. So you can see that it's just starting to look a little bit tender around the edges. It doesn't look raw, but it's not cooked through. That's kind of what you want. You don't want this to be, when I had the salad, the zucchini wasn't hard as rock, not hard as a rock, but raw, but it also wasn't squishy, as if you had totally sauteed. So I'm gonna take this off the heat, and I did add a little bit more salt and pepper when I added that corn. This is gonna go in my bowl. And this is typically not a hot salad by any means, but I feel like the fresh elements are gonna cool this down really quick. And this was not something, hopefully you can see this in the cool bowl. So I'm gonna add in, this is about a pint of tomatoes. It was a multicolor, which I like because that's kind of just fun for color. And look how gorgeous the color is on this. And now in go my red onions. I slice those really thin. Try your best to cut those as thin as you possibly can because it has a bite, and some people don't love the sharpness of the red onion, and when it's really thin, then it is like the right balance with each bite. So you got purple and red and yellow and orange all going on in here. And I'm gonna do my basil last. So this is just a simple vinaigrette. It's red wine vinegar, olive oil, a little bit of Dijon, a garlic clove, salt, pepper, and a little bit of dried oregano. So kind of a classic Italian, and that dressing is just gonna go right on here. And I'm gonna do it while it's warm. I feel like, you know, honestly, I'm making this up, but I feel like when you add dressing to warm veggies, it kind of soaks them up a little bit more. And so this, you guys, this is your base. And then what seems weird is you're gonna add bread to it. This is not something you wanna make hours and hours and hours before. I'd say you could make this and then toss it with your bread. I think you safely, for sure, an hour or two, but it says up to 4 hours in some recipes I've looked at, but I wouldn't go too much longer than that. So I'm gonna do a little bit of Parmesan cheese. That would be real good. So a little parm, probably a 1/4 cup, just for that salty bite. It's gonna be so good. And the thing is, you can make this up. If you love like bell peppers, throw some bell peppers in there. If you like Clamato olives, you could add some of those in there. That'd be kind of fun for a color. I think I'm flying solo on that one in this house. So basil, fresh basil. I have some chives in my garden. I may end up going and grabbing a few of those to throw in. So my bread cubes, these guys have been cooling. And again, I just toss those with a little bit of butter and olive oil. Not a lot. Oops, somebody escaped. So gently, I'm just tossing this together. And it might seem really weird. How do you put bread in a salad? You guys, I'm telling you, the bread's gonna soak up some of that juice. This is one of those salads you kind of can't stop. At least I can't. I have a hard time. And now I'm gonna just put this right onto a pretty platter. And then we've got our little flank steak that's gonna go on the side. Oh my gosh, I am drooling. It looks so good. Look at that. Isn't that so fun? And I'm telling you, it comes together in under 10 minutes. You gotta make this one. Summer panzanella salad, throw on some grilled chicken, just eat this. Little sprig of basil. I'm successfully growing basil this year. I don't know what is happening to me. A little garnish right there, isn't that cute? All right, you guys, delight of the bite. Subscribe, share, tell your friends, feed your dogs. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me at Delight of the Bite on Instagram. And it always is helpful when you comment below this video. Anytime you share, anytime you comment on my Facebook or on Instagram, all those interactions are really, really helpful to me, and I so appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Happy summer, and we'll see you next time. I'm back. So, already consumed most of my dinner, but I'm gonna have some more bites just for you. I forgot to taste test, and that's my favorite part. Maybe it's your favorite part too. So, tomato, zucchini, corn, a little bit of this delicious crouton, a little onion. I'm trying to get all the things. Well, I'm missing one. Chaser. You guys, if I had more stomach room, I would devour that whole platter. This is all the things. Sweet corn, kind of the bite from the Parmesan. The veggies have like a crispiness, but not uncooked. They're just the perfect crisp tender. That bite of the onion, which has a little bit of a sweetness. It is just summertime in your mouth, and it's great because it has carbs. So it's like all the veggies and then a little bread. It's perfection. Cheers to you. All right, make the salad. You will not regret it. Bye.